Have you ever heard the saying, karma is like a restaurant? You don't get served what you order. You get served what you deserve. It's a powerful reminder that our actions, whether good or bad, always find their way back to us. So, hello and welcome to Way to Enlightenment. Today, we're diving into a heartwarming story that teaches us that life is like an echo. What you send out comes back to you. We'll discover how every thought, word, and action we put into the world shapes our destiny. So let's start the story which captures this universal truth. Karma never forgets your address. Once upon a time, there was a kind-hearted woman who was going through one of the toughest phases of her life. She was dealing with numerous personal challenges, but never let her troubles take away her smile. She lived by a simple principle: to do good no matter what. As part of her daily routine, she would cook meals for herself and her family, and every day, she made 2 extra chapatis. She placed these chapatis on the ledge outside her house so that any passerby in need, whether a beggar or anyone hungry, could take them and have something to eat. This small act of kindness gave her peace, even though she was facing her own battles. It was her way of contributing something good to the world, however small it might seem. One day, a beggar started coming regularly. He would take the chapatis and, as he left, would always say the same thing: "May all the bad stay with you, and may the good come back around." His words echoed like a strange mantra, one that the woman found confusing and unsettling. At first, she didn't think much of it, but as days went by, his words began to irritate her. Why was he saying that all the bad should stay with her? She was the one helping him, wasn't she? She started feeling that the beggar's words were more like a curse than a blessing, especially since her own life was filled with struggles. Despite her kindness, she felt unappreciated and misunderstood. The beggar's words felt like salt in her wounds. The woman's frustration grew, and one day, she had enough. Consumed by anger and resentment, she decided to end this once and for all. She thought, "Why should I keep helping someone who keeps wishing bad upon me?" In her rage, she decided to mix poison into the dough of the chapatis meant for the beggar. It was a moment of madness, fueled by the pain of feeling unappreciated. As she kneaded the poisoned dough, her mind was filled with anger. She rolled the chapatis, thinking this would end her daily irritation. But just as she was about to place them on the ledge, a voice rang inside her head. A voice she had not heard before, but one she could not ignore. It was as if her soul was speaking to her, urging her to stop. The voice said, "What are you doing? You've been good all your life. Are you really going to let anger define you today?" Startled by the voice of her conscience, she paused. The realization of what she was about to do struck her like a lightning bolt. She quickly threw the poisoned chapatis away, kneaded fresh dough, and made 2 new chapatis. She placed these fresh chapatis on the ledge, and not long after, the beggar came as usual, took them, and repeated his mantra: "May all the bad stay with you, and may the good come back around." Meanwhile, at a nearby temple, a wise Buddhist monk, who often observed the woman's kind acts, was meditating. The monk was known for his deep understanding of life, karma, and the interconnectedness of all beings. He often preached that every action, no matter how small, creates ripples that affect not only ourselves, but also the entire universe. On that very day, as he meditated, he sensed a disturbance in the energy around him. He could feel the woman's turmoil, her inner conflict, and the near-fatal decision she almost made. The monk believed that karma was not just about what happens to us, but also about the choices we make in moments of anger, love, fear, or kindness. He knew he had to speak to her. Later that evening, the monk visited the woman. She welcomed him, feeling honored by his presence. The monk smiled gently and asked her, "Why do you continue to help others, even when it feels like no one is helping you?" The woman sighed and replied, "I just feel it's the right thing to do, but sometimes it feels like my kindness is wasted. That beggar comes every day and says things that hurt me. I almost did something terrible today." The monk listened patiently and then told her, Karma is like a seed. It may take time to grow, but it never forgets where it was planted. What you give out, you will receive, even if it takes years or comes in unexpected ways. The beggar's words may seem harsh, but they are not about you. They are about his own journey. Continue your kindness, not because of what you get back, but because it's who you are. The woman nodded, feeling lighter. The monk's words were like a balm to her soul, reminding her that kindness is never wasted, even when it feels unappreciated. Now, here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. The woman had a son who had been missing for 2 long years. Every day she prayed for his safe return, hoping that one day he would knock on her door. That evening, as she was preparing dinner, the doorbell rang. She opened the door, and there he was, her son, standing in front of her eyes, tired but alive. Tears of joy streamed down her face as she hugged him tightly. She thanked the heavens for this miracle. Overwhelmed with emotion, she asked her son where he had been and what had happened. He explained how he had wandered from one place to another, struggling to survive, and how he had nearly given up hope. He then shared the chilling part of his journey. Last night, I was on the highway, lost, cold, and hungry. I had not eaten for days. I felt so weak that I could barely walk. I sat down by the roadside, feeling like I couldn't go on any longer. Then, out of nowhere, a beggar appeared. He left 2 chapatis and some vegetable stew in front of me and walked away without saying much. That food gave me the strength to keep moving, and today, I found my way back home. The woman's heart nearly stopped. Trembling, she asked her son, "Can you describe the man who gave you the food?" Her son paused, trying to recall the beggar's face. "I don't remember much about him," he said thoughtfully. But he kept muttering something strange under his breath. "May all the bad stay with you, and may the good come back around." Those words struck her like a bolt of lightning. A chill ran down her spine as she realized it was the same beggar who had been taking chapatis from her window every day, uttering those exact words. At that moment, the weight of what had almost happened hit her hard. Her act of kindness had come full circle, saving the life of the one she loved most. The beggar's mantra, once a source of irritation, now echoed in her heart as a profound lesson about the unbreakable cycle of karma. Tears filled her eyes as she realized the magnitude of what had just happened. If she had not listened to her inner voice, her poisoned chapatis would have ended up in the hands of her own son. In that moment, she understood the true meaning of karma. Her kindness, even in the face of anger, had come back to her in the most miraculous way. The beggar's words were not a curse, but a profound truth about life. The monk's teachings echoed in her mind. Karma is a mirror. It always reflects what you do. The woman thanked the beggar silently, understanding that his words were a reminder to keep faith in goodness, even when it seemed lost. She went to the temple to thank the monk, who simply smiled and said, "The universe watches over those who live with kindness. You saved your son by saving yourself from anger." This inspiring story beautifully teaches us that life is a constant flow of energy, and karma is the force that keeps that flow balanced. When you choose kindness, patience, and compassion, you are planting seeds that will grow into blessings for you and those you love. Remember, no good deed is ever lost, and no act of kindness is ever wasted. So, live well, do good, and trust that the universe will always bring back what you put out into the world. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with someone who needs a reminder about the power of karma, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories. Comment below with your thoughts. How has karma played a role in your life? I'd love to hear your experiences. Thank you for joining us today. May this story remind you to keep doing good, no matter what. Until next time, keep shining, keep smiling, and remember, karma never forgets your address. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.